Hi and welcome to Settled again. We're continuing our video tutorial series. Today we're going to talk about the asset division sheet. As always, when you log on to Settled, you'll be taken to the dashboard where you will select Manage Clients and Documents. You'll be taken to the Client Management page. We've been working with Steve and we're going to, as always, select the blue icon to manage Steve's documents. And today we're going to the asset division analysis. Now, if you look at this, this is your typical spreadsheet that takes into account all the issues of the estate, the real estate, vehicles, investments, all through. These are all taken from the financial declaration. Anything that needs to be added, you can certainly add here, but none of this information was added directly onto this sheet as it was entered onto the financial declaration. Designated over. Now let's look specifically at retirement. If you look here, we have one retirement account. If we go back over to the financial declaration page, let me show you how this will work. Add a new voluntary retirement. Make sure you select the voluntary. We'll say that it's individual and that it is a 401k. And let's say there's 150,000 in this account. There's no debt on it. We want to include it on the asset division sheet. So we're going to press save. It'll be saved. Green flag is a hallmark that we can move along. We'll come back to the assets division sheet and we'll reload it. And we now have two retirement accounts. One of the features that Settled has is we have a note tab section here that we can give notes particular to each asset. And let's say that this 401k is a Bank of America 401k. So we'll note that. And let's say that this other account is a work-related 401k. We have that there. Any of these assets you can come through and you can note here. Now, down at the bottom, what it's done is it's taken all of the assets, the debts, totaled everything out. We have the value of the estate, the value of all of the debts, credit card debt, vehicle debt, the debts on the homes, and then we net it out to an equity amount. Now, what we have here is we have a 50-50 asset division. We have a 60-40 asset division. Now let's look down at this particular asset. If you note here, this $105,000 is not 50-50, but it's all to the client. That's because what we can do is we can tell the system to do a default division, which is 50-50. And if we calculate that, and we come back down here to the bottom, it'll show us that 50-50 is just this, and it takes nothing to equalize the estate. But what we have the ability to do is we can come through and we can do an assignment just to the client. Say the client has said he has to keep his 401k. Well, we can absolutely do that, and it will show us down here now that it's really a 58-42 split with $52,500 being over here for the client. But let's say that we still want to balance the estate and we have to pick up the funds somewhere else. So what we need to do is we need to find $52,500. Well, what we can do is we can turn this off, leave this here, and we can come down to this asset and we can say, hey, let's do this way. Let's do a unique asset division. Let's look at dollar values here. And we know that what we need to do is we need to get $75,000 there on one side. We need to get $52,500 of that and move it over. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this $22,500 and then over here we are going to take for the client, the opposing party, 127.5. Do the math for you. We do that change. Let's lock that in. And then we're back at 50-50 with nothing to equalize. And if you look here, it'll show that you've done a unique division splitting the two between. That's a unique feature that you can do on any asset at all. And what you do is you have the ability to even do batch processing if you wanted to give, for instance, everything to the client, or if you wanted to do a batch processing and give everything to the opposing party, you can simply click all the boxes, or you can just do a default division. Um, let's go back down and change these guys here. We're just going to do across the board a default division. It'll take it back the way it was. Can I click those now? You can come through and you can do any kind of analysis, tell the system to calculate, and it'll show how the property is divided. You can add intangibles and non-marital as well. Anything that you add on this page, say for instance, you added another financial account, and say this was a SC federal account, and it has $4,000 in it. Press calculate. It will give you the balance. It'll make all the appropriate changes here. But what you can also do is when you go to save, it'll ask if you want to put it on the financial declaration. Let's say yes. Come back over and we refresh and reload the financial declaration. What you end up with is, by coming down to the cash and financial accounts, you now have a South Carolina federal account squared in here. So any of the assets that you enter on the financial declaration will move to the asset division page, and vice versa. You have the ability to do batch processing at a whole on set divisions, or you can come in and customize with unique divisions per individual asset. Should you need at any time on the page, or any of the pages actually, you can pull a calculator up and do calculations. As with any page, make sure you save any of your work before you move on. And lastly, you can generate a PDF with both columns or a single column that will allow you to include or not include the confidentiality language, and you end up with a PDF ready to be presented to the court that will show the calculations that you have done via the Settlyd software. So that's the overview of the asset division sheet. If at any point you have any questions, frequently asked questions, a support ticket is a good place to start. And we'll be able to give you any information as soon as possible. And if that doesn't work for some reason, although it should, and we hope you don't have troubles at all, but please at any time feel free to email us at support@settlyd.com. Thank you again for using the system, and we look forward to putting more tutorials up. If there's anything you'd like to see a tutorial on, please let us know, and y'all have a great day.